Okay, Indie World Direct. The usual message is, I have no predictions, because it's an Indie World Direct. New intro? Neat. It's all bubbly and stuff.
Hello and welcome to Indie World. I'm Mariko.
And I'm Tyler. We're here to take you through another great selection of indie games.
Oops, I forgot I need to finish deleting this stuff.
No matter what type of games you're into, we hope you'll find your next indie favorite. Are you ready? Then off we go.
This was kind of a last-minute decision, so I haven't quite got everything set up the way I want. Why does this look like Jet Set Grind? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Okay.
Alright, now this is what I call a funky future. I could use a backpack like that.
Me too.
Oh, Cyberpunk.
Starting out as a nobody in a sprawling metropolis, making a name for yourself won't be easy. But as you expand your crew with additional playable characters and make use of the intuitive trick system to get around town, you'll edge closer to becoming an all-city king.
Okay, so it's
backed by beats from a wide range of
it's Jet Set
Grind.
Grind.
Grind, paint, and combo your way to becoming one of the greatest graffiti artists around.
You gotta love indie developers and how they like to make games that are abandoned.
Reclaim.
Haven't had a Jet Set Grind radio game in years, so now we got Team Reptile doing it. Oh wow, well, next year, we're looking far ahead. Ooh, now this looks interesting. What's this? Considering how last minute this stream was, hopefully I get some folks in the chat. Yeah, this game looks interesting. I'd play it. I love that the trees appear to be cardboard cutouts, foldouts in fact.
Jag är Niklas och jag är Lukas. Vi på Samfund Made och resten av utvecklingsteamet är riktigt stolta på att presentera vårt fotoäventyrsspel TOEM.
Efter mycket hårt arbete och självklart roliga stunder så går vi här idag med klara sinnen och huvudena högt. Det har varit en otroligt spännande resa med mycket lärdomar och vi är väldigt nöjda över hur TOEM har blivit.
Vi hoppas du får en rolig och mysig resa genom TOEMs värld och att du finner ro medan du spelar vårt spel.
Så packa väskan.
Have you ever noticed how a lot of indie devs are foreign?
Smile, Tyler.
It shows that talent can be worldwide.
It reminds me of the photos you can take in this laid-back adventure.
Oh, TOEM is the name of the game?
About capturing the moment and helping people out along the way.
With its charming hand-drawn style, you'll explore different regions inspired
Hi,
by
Maddie.
the Scandinavian countryside. Chat with quirky characters, solve their problems by taking neat snaps with your camera, and make your way through a relaxing landscape while listening to some totally chill beats.
I could definitely go for a chill game right now.
When TOEM arrives this fall.
What have we got here? Looks like some sort of retro-inspired RPG. Though the graphics don't necessarily appear to be inspired by anything directly. Not that I can recognize. Well, that's deep. Lude? Oh no, Loop Hero. Do tell.
Hey, Ariko, does it feel like we're going in circles here?
Oh,
Don't worry,
looks a lot like a
Tyler.
PC
That's
game.
just how Loop Hero works. Instead of playing as the hero, you craft adventures for them by creating the world that they travel through.
This looks like a game that would benefit more from mouse support.
A dangerous path that the hero can explore, loot, fight along. Place cards strategically to help them conquer the loop and then do it all again.
The more loops you complete, the more cards you'll uncover, opening up new possibilities for the hero's future adventures. Between expanding the survivor's campsite and fending off devious guardians, keeping them alive takes strategy, balance, and skill, especially if you want to defeat the time-bending Lich.
Break the spiral and save the world when Loop Hero arrives on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Game releasing for Christmas. You think it's going to be on people's wish list? I'd like to definitely see indie games do well enough that they're on people's Christmas lists. I actually had a couple on mine last year. Had in Time being one of them. And I got it too. Haven't played it yet. Don't know when I'll get the chance. It still impresses me that indie games have gotten indie developers have gotten talented enough to create 3D graphics. It seemed for a while, though, that indie games would always be 2D. But this sort of thing is really impressive.
Hoi, ich bin Don Schmocker, Co-Founder und Creative Lead von Locomotive. Ich freue mich sehr, euch Far-Changing Tides zu zeigen, unserem atmosphärischen Fahrzeug-Adventure
Well, I suppose that's a good point.
Universum. Wir haben schon früh gewusst, dass wir noch mehr Geschichten im Universum zu erzählen haben, und so starten wir in Changing Tides mit einer neuen Figur in eine neue spannende Reise. Wir freuen uns, Far-Changing Tides nächstes Jahr auf Nintendo Switch zu bringen und wünschen euch viel Spaß dabei.
A boy, his ship, and an ocean that stretches as far as the eye can see. Who'd
This
have
does seem to
thought
be a
that the
2D
apocalypse
game
would
at
ever
its
be
heart,
so
though.
relaxing.
And yet it is.
I guess 2.5D,
In
we'll
this
say.
puzzle-solving adventure, you get to captain your own seafaring vessel and explore a vast flooded landscape.
What is your
Tackle
character?
mighty storms and overcome conundrums as you embark on a voyage to find a new home.
Set in a beautifully realized post-apocalyptic world, it's an emotional, meditative journey that anyone can enjoy. Whether you play the
Someday
first
I'm
game
going
in
to
the
get around to
series,
streaming a
Far
game
Lone
like
Sail,
this.
or not.
Set sail
I've
for the
seen so many
horizon
games like
far,
this, and they all
changing
look
tides.
interesting, and I want to play
Coming
them.
to the Nintendo Switch system next year.
Trying to take in as much as I can here. Necrobarista Final Pour? Well, that's an interesting title. Necrobarista
That smells both rich and
Pour.
satisfying.
Huh.
I bet it's got enough caffeine to wake the dead. Can I get a cup?
Sure, flavorsome storytelling and aromatic atmosphere go hand in hand in this anime-style experience where the dead get one last night to mingle with the living and discuss the finer points of life and death over a beverage or two.
Immerse
That
yourself
sounds
in
like a
new
really
story
interesting
content
concept.
And enjoy remastered visuals in this expanded director's cut of the original game.
Okay,
There's
so
even a
this
new
is
studio
another
mode
returning
where
a
you
game
can
of some
create your own
sort.
dialogue
I
and
guess this is a
story.
game that also
Make
was on
yours a grande
PC.
with Necrobarista Final Pour.
Oh,
Launching as a
they're
timed
later
console
today.
exclusive on Nintendo Switch later today.
It's time for some updates. Let's quickly catch up on several games we've featured previously in Indie World that you can play today.
It's time to grow your own adventure. Become the guardian of the grove and explore a vibrant island to inspire.
Yeah, I remember
its
saying
inhabitants.
this.
Fend off the invasive rot and rebuild your home. Take on requests from villagers, solve puzzles, and do everything you can to help restore the community. Rise to Grapeness in Garden Story.
Grapeness.
Arriving as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch later today.
Don't just fight with a sword, date one. In this
Boyfriend
heartfelt
dungeon.
crawling dating sim, use the in-game cash you earn from fighting
With
monsters
RPG
to wound
mechanics.
your
A
weapons
dating
on
sim with
romantic
RPG
outings.
mechanics.
Multiple combat styles just means more cuties to forge relationships with. After all, a couple that slays together stays
I'm
together.
not so interested in
Capture
dating
the hearts
sims,
of your
even with
arsenal
RPG
in
mechanics.
Boyfriend Dungeon, cleaving its way onto Nintendo Switch later today.
In this prequel to the original Axiom Verge, a new hero fights for her life, empowered by the same microscopic machines that gradually consume her humanity. With
I
two
have yet to
interconnected
play the
worlds
first
to
Axiom
explore,
Verge, but I really should
and
someday.
fight your way through, walk the thin line between dream and nightmare as you discover the origins of the Axiom Verge universe.
I do like
Axiom Verge
Metroidvanias.
2 comes to Nintendo Switch later today. I can't wait to dig into all those games.
Speaking of digging,
SteamWorld
let's
Dig 2?
continue with the show.
Wait, what? Okay, Shovel Knight Pocket. What? Oh. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess if any game deserves a spin-off, Shovel Knight has definitely earned it. Looks like there's a lot going on in the puzzles, too. I'd probably suck at it.
Hi, I'm Celia from Yacht Club Games. We are thrilled to announce today that Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, an action-packed puzzle adventure with a dungeon-crawling twist we're developing alongside Vine, is coming to Nintendo Switch. Can you believe it's been 7 years since Shovel Knight first arrived on the scene?
Only
After
that long?
First appearance, we've been hard at work releasing Plague of Shadows, Spectre of Torment, King of Cards, and Shovel Knight Showdown. As you can see, we've always envisioned Shovel Knight as a grand, all-encompassing franchise, which is why we're so excited for Shovel Knight to take the next step into a new gameplay dimension with Pocket Dungeon. We hope you enjoy your puzzling adventure.
I kinda suck at puzzle games.
Now
I have
here's a
fun with
twist
them,
on
but
Shovel Knight that you're really going to dig.
anything
A
beyond
puzzler,
Tetris,
part
I
dungeon
suck
crawler
at.
hybrid that's perfect for fans and newcomers alike.
With Puzzle Knight by your side, fight foes, recover relics, and battle bosses both new and familiar. Group together enemies to unleash massive chain attacks and grab keys, potions, and treasure as you try to escape the mysterious Pocket Dungeon.
With over 10 heroes available, each with their own special power and playstyle, the action is always as fresh as it is fast. You can even take on a friend head-to-head and fight to bury the competition, literally. And as an exclusive feature to
Yeah, any
Nintendo
game
Switch,
that involves
if you
trying
have
to
any of
perform
the Shovel Knight
combos,
series amiibo figures,
I'm
use
gonna
them to
lose.
call on a familiar fairy friend to accompany you
Like,
on
I
your
love
adventure.
Tetris Attack,
It'll be a night to remember. when
but I'm
Shovel Knight
lucky
Pocket
if I can get a
Dungeon
combo
is
bigger than
unearthed on
2.
Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Still looks interesting. I kind of envy people who are good at these type of games. Those type of games. I don't know what this type of game is. What is this? Oh, one of these type of games. Islanders. Okay.
Start small, build big. That's always been my motto. And in this quirky city builder, it can be yours too.
Someday
This
I'll be able to get
procedurally
into
generated
more of
strategy
these
game
sim
sees you placing
games.
buildings from your
Haven't played any
inventory
since
on an
Roller
island
Coaster
to earn
Tycoon.
points. Score enough, and you'll get more buildings to keep growing your island with. And when you can't build any further, just start from scratch and do it all again.
With its minimalist approach, intuitive mechanics, and almost infinite colorful islands to build on.
This does look
Create
like
the
it would
city
be
of your
simple to get
dreams
into.
over and over,
I
in
might
no
want to
time at
consider
all.
it.
The world is yours to build in Islanders Console Edition, coming as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch later today.
Marco! Theo!
Hello.
Dharma!
Oh, tactical RPG. Those I definitely suck at. I've only ever beaten one. That being Shining Force. This looks pretty cool. It definitely looked like Metal Slug. Neat.
De la part de Leica Studio et de TOEM, nous sommes très heureux de vous annoncer que Metal Slug Tactics sera disponible sur Nintendo Switch.
Nos équipes ont grandi avec Metal Slug et c'est une chance de pouvoir travailler sur un nouvel épisode de cette saga mythique.
C'était important pour nous de trouver une nouvelle voie, à la fois pour rendre hommage aux épisodes principaux de la série, mais aussi pour proposer une nouvelle expérience aux fans.
Le développement avance bien.
When it comes to games like this, where they're taking a beloved franchise and making a spin-off, it's definitely a risky move, because it's a question of, are fans waiting on the next traditional entry in the series? Because if they are, they're going to be mad about these spin-offs. This isn't the Metal Slug I was waiting for. I mean, you can definitely see that with games like Metroid and Federation Force.
It's your job to wipe out the enemy forces by any means possible. Position your troops correctly on the battlefield, and you'll even be able to use the sync skill to deal extra damage with multiple heroes.
Head for a new front line when Metal Slug Tactics
The art is definitely really good, which is to be expected from Metal Slug. Did that say 2022? I wasn't paying attention.
And today, we're so excited to announce that Tetris Effect Connected is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Speaking of Tetris,
全員で全力で作ったテトリスエフェクトは美しいグラフィックとサウンドによりゲームプレイをより感動できるものにしています。このゲームが Nintendo Switch によって皆さんがどこにいても遊べるようになるのでとても楽しみです。
I think I've heard of this one.
Sure, you might have already played Tetris, but Tetris Effect Connected is something different. It's the iconic puzzle game, but one that goes to another plane of enlightenment.
As well as the single-player journey mode, take on your friends competitively.
It's basically
in
Tetris,
zone
but
battle
with
locally or online,
visual
or play connected
effects.
mode and work together to clear 3
Otherwise, it's still
playfields as
Tetris.
one.
But there's nothing wrong with
Includes
that. You change something too much and
so it's easier to find people to play with
it stops
or
being
against.
recognizable.
And since it's on
Well,
the
that looked
Nintendo
cool.
Switch system, you can take the experience with you wherever you are.
Feel the connection in Tetris Effect Connected. Arriving on Nintendo Switch, October 8th.
There sure are a lot of games to look forward to. But
And there are. I wish I could play them all. I barely... A lot of these games look interesting, but I barely ever get the chance to play them. Oh, hey, Slime Rancher. I've seen that. Do you get a dinosaur on your team there? Oh, here's one of these goofy ragdoll physics type games.
We're nearly done, but before we go, here's an update on another game coming to Nintendo Switch very soon from our friends at Chucklefish.
That's all I can say for now. I'm hmming to fill time. Eastward.
It's nearly time to head eastward, coming to Nintendo Switch as a timed console exclusive, September 16th. Pre-orders begin on Nintendo eShop later today.
It looks interesting, but I wouldn't mind knowing more about it.
Today's indie world. There are so many diverse indie games to be found on Nintendo Switch, and we really enjoy showing them to you on behalf of our many
Starbound's not
development
finished?
and publishing partners around the world.
As always, a big thank you to everyone in the indie community working on games for Nintendo Switch. And thank you for joining us today.
Don't
You're
forget
welcome.
to follow our official Twitter account at IndieWorldNA to stay up to date on all the latest news from Indie World.
Until next time, happy gaming!
I try. Missing stuff it needs to feel finish. Huh. Well, I'll just have to kind of take your word for it. So that's the end of that direct. Definitely some interesting titles there. Let's see here. Axiom Verge 2, of course. Assuming I ever play Axiom Verge 1. I'd probably want to put priority on that. I know it probably isn't important to play them in order, but, well, I just want to. Necrobarista is certainly an interesting concept. Slime Rancher definitely looks like a fun game, but I don't know how well it would earn my interest. Lumbear Jack is a game I'm very curious about. Metal Slug Tactics looks like it would be fun. I'd probably suck at it, but it would be fun to play anyway. And Islanders, if there was some sort of sim game to get me to try being a sim game, it might be that. It looks like it'd be simple enough to get into. Not overly complex. How about you, Maddie? Anything in there catch your interest? Cyberfunk. Did I forget to write Cyberfunk down? No, I did write it down. Where did I write it down? Shoot. I am being blind in my list. Oh, it was the first game. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Right, the first game that was showed. Oh, right, the Just Grind Radio type game. Yeah, it was kind of a last-minute decision. I would have to look over this stream again in order to really get a feel for what the games are. In fact, let me just go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah, this game. What was this game? TOEM. That's what TOEM was. It's hard to remember what the game is called just from the name because what the heck does TOEM even mean? But this game definitely looks interesting. Casual game. I would definitely play it. This was Loop Hero. Okay, it definitely helps to look through this list and see what the games are. Because it's kind of hard for me to remember things sometimes. Yeah, that game looks interesting. Although, again, Loop Hero seems like a game that would be better played as a PC game, looking at all this stuff on the right. Far Changing Ties. You know, overall, there were a lot of interesting games in this direct. I wouldn't mind actually playing most of these. It's just a matter of time. And time is not necessarily something I have. Who knows, though, maybe someday I'll get lucky enough one of these indie devs will come and say, hey, here's a review code. Stream my game for me. That is the dream. I mean, I do get some indie devs coming to ask me to stream their games. Heroines of Swords Spells is an indie game that somebody came and told me to play. It's also an RPG Maker game. I wouldn't mind some non-RPG Maker games, though. I mean, I'm definitely willing to do RPG Maker games. That's kind of my thing, if you've ever viewed my channel. In fact, those of you watching this at YouTube, I've got a lot of RPG Maker playthroughs in the pipeline. Some of them, as I said, indie games. Heroines of Swords and Spells will come later this year. Coming up soon is a game called Framed Wings. It's an action RPG with a few Zelda-type dungeons. It was definitely an interesting game to play. I'm looking forward to getting that one posted. I streamed it at Twitch a while back. And I seem to have lost the stream here. So we can't double check what all the other games are in this stream. Oh well. It's definitely a cool feeling to have an indie dev actually give you a game to show off. It's like, oh my goodness, I feel important. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end things right here. So, let's see here. Things that are happening right now. Well, right now at YouTube, I am finishing up a playthrough of Arc Aerith. It is an RPG Maker game that was in development for 10 years. And, oh boy, it's been quite a long journey. Kind of excited to see it to its end here, these next few days. So definitely check that out. It's a long playthrough, but I think it was worth playing, and hopefully also for you guys worth watching. Like I said, coming soon, I've also got some indie RPG Maker games in the pipeline. Meanwhile, at Twitch, as stated, I am playing an indie RPG Maker game called Heroines of Swords and Spells, which is an open world RPG, and it is hilarious. Oh my goodness, the game has made me laugh. Definitely come over to Twitch and watch me play that from time to time. I normally stream it every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday in the afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if I'll be able to stream it today, though. We are having a scorcher of a day today, and my air conditioning can only keep up so much, and I'd rather not have my air conditioning compete with the output of heat that my computer performs whenever I am streaming, so I might wind up skipping today's stream for that reason. We'll see. Maybe if I'm lucky, a storm will blow in and cool things off in time for stream, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.